Hello all, today's video is about personality assessments. Personality assessment refers to the estimation of one's personality makeup, that is the person's characteristic behavior patterns and salient unstable characteristics. The method of estimating or measuring or assessing personality vary according to the theory of personality used in the development of measurements or assessments. There are several tests or inventories which are available for the assessment of personality. Broadly, these can be grasped into one of three categories. These are the subjective, objective, and projective methods. The subjective method approach incorporates the assessment of one's personality, taking his or her work into account. For example, what he or she had done throughout his or her life. It may also vary and consider his or her autobiographical accounts and biographies, etc. But there is a major limitation of it, that there are possibilities that the person may exaggerate his or her strengths and may minimize the account of his or her limitations, and therefore these methods void of true picture of the personality. The objective methods of personality test. The term objective in objective methods of personality assessment refers to the inability of a person to rely on subject statements about themselves, but on their overt behavior as others who serve as judges, examiners, or observers reveal it. According to the definition, the participant is researched or observed in a particular life context where their specific context, traits, requirements, and features are constructed. As such, the subject is observed directly by the examiner. The objective approaches employed are unobserved observation, miniature life situations, rating scales, and physiological measures. The objective techniques characteristics are attributed to the knowledge that they are more controlled and less vulnerable to respond to misinterpretations than personal assessments. Objective tests are believed to have a constructive impact on the reliability of outcomes. Moreover, based on their impact on outcomes reliability, the objective techniques increase the effectiveness of psychological strategies. The objective techniques are established on the suppositions that for the counselor to achieve precision, the patient must have no knowledge of the association between the conclusion of evaluator and their feedback. Regarding correctness, some opinions face validity does not exist relative to the purpose of the question associated with the technique. Generally, there is no dispute on how the correct assumption might be. According to modern findings, the technical adequacy of the objective testers can vary from one assessment to another. Therefore, there are different criticisms on the effectiveness of the grade point average, that is GPA, where the ordinary least squares are used to measure the big five traits that affect the academic achievement. Even with the results indicating high scores on openness and conscientiousness on GPA in the Italian students' population, the translation version may require undergoing social and cultural adaptation processes to be administered and interpreted right. The psychiatrist can acknowledge a similar belief despite the verbal correspondence in different ways based on their culture. So, projective techniques. These techniques are assumed to reveal those central aspects of personality that lie in the unconscious mind of an individual. Unconscious motivations, hidden desires, inner fears, and complexes are presumed to be the elicited by their unstructured nature that affect the client's conscious behavior. The assignment of relatively structured or unstructured task is a major distinguishing feature of projective techniques. The unstructured task is one that permits an endless range of possible responses. The underlying hypothesis of the projective techniques is that the way the test material or structures are perceived and interpreted by the individual reflects the fundamental aspects of her or his psychological functioning.